Hi everybody, my name is Barry Schwartz and this is the Search Buzz video recap. Today is Friday, May 10th. This is search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at seroundtable.com over the past week. First up, I published the monthly Google Webmaster Report. You can take a look at it over here. It was a very, very busy month, specifically with Google bugs. So definitely take a look at that. There was tons and tons of Google bugs. Most of them were fixed. Google also launched a lot of cool Google Search Console features in the past month, including new enhancement reports, Discover Report, AMP stories, Android filters, and even had a Star Wars themes for May 4th, which is pretty cool. And Eric Schmidt stepped down. So those are the big news over the past month or so. Let's get into some new stuff that we didn't cover yet. This morning I posted about a possible Google update on May 9th or so. I don't see much chatter. The tools going crazy, but there is some early chatter in the industry, specifically starting on May 9th in the morning, in the afternoon, and throughout the day. So definitely take a look at that. And you can see also the tools themselves aren't going crazy, but if you did see an update, do let us know. I find it unusual that Google would actually release an update during Google I/O, but you never know. It's very possible. Maybe it's related to this news where Google announced that they now have a new Google bot that's out that's running the latest version of Chrome. So historically, the past couple of years, it's been running Chrome 41, which is way out of date because now we're up to Chrome 74. And Google announced that GoogleBot is now Evergreen, meaning GoogleBot will always be within a couple of weeks or a few weeks of when Chrome is updated. So when Chrome is updated from 74 to 75, a few weeks later, GoogleBot would also be updated to 75. Now, a couple things to note. It supports 1,000 new features. It doesn't mean it's going to solve all the JavaScript issues that you have. There's a lot of things going on there with that. But let me quickly go through all the news. It supports, again, like I said, 1,000 new features, including newer JavaScript features. It also has a specific link over here. If you want to go there, it'll tell you the specific issues you have to watch out for with search still. So definitely take a look at that if you are interested in that. It's still not perfect. It still requires 2 passes to fully render some of the JavaScript, which is over here. But there are still more features coming out. This is probably one of the biggest news items at I/O, at least in search. It's very, very big news. It is live, even though you are seeing in the user agent Chrome 41, Google said they didn't want to change the user agent because some people hard code the user agents for different types of purposes, and because of that, they didn't change the user agent. But they will be changing the user agent in the future, and we will see. Google will announce what that user agent will be, so they want to give us time. But it is using the latest Evergreen version of GoogleBot, even though it says 41. And also something to note that GoogleBot is a shared service, so different tools and so forth are using it, and those tools haven't been updated yet. So here's some more information. Again, the user agent hasn't changed. 2 waves of crawling is still required. It doesn't mean there'll be less crawling. It'll be the same amount of crawling, many new features like discussed. And then again, it's shared, so a lot of the different tools are not updated, like mobile-friendly testing tool, this type of tool, and so forth, which we'll talk about a little bit later. But people are seeing new Googlebot user agents. It's not clear what it is, but it says here a Chrome version in the user bot thing, which is very interesting. Google's probably testing it. Google hasn't confirmed anything with that, but it is interesting to see Google testing a new version of Googlebot. Tools like the Google Mobile Friendly Testing Tool or the Structured Data Testing Tool, all these types of different tools have not yet been updated. They'll probably be updated in the next coming weeks or so. So definitely be patient. Those will be updated as well to the latest version of Evergreen Googlebot, which is important for your SEO testing to make sure that your stuff is crawlable. Also at I/O, Google announced that they launched the FAQ and How-To schema. FAQ and How-To schema was actually announced last year at Google I/O 2018, but this year they actually launched it. They launched other things they announced during the year, like QA markup, but they are now launched and it's actually live How-To markup. So this is what it looks like in search. These are How-To, so it takes you step by step through the process, 5 steps, 3 days. Another way is a carousel type of interface. Also, it's available in Google Assistant to walk you through a Google Assistant. The cool thing also is that you don't actually have to have a web page to submit how-to content to Google Assistant. It even supports this over here for content creators that don't maintain a website They actually have a template for you to submit that information. And there are also new Search Console reports and the enhancement reports for tracking your how-to markup. FAQ structured data as well. Do not confuse this with QA markup. QA markups for like forums or like Reddit or social media where you have one question and a bunch of answers. This is for FAQs, which is basically question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. And you can see here, question, answer, question, answer, question, answer. Again, Google Assistant supports it as well. And of course, there's very, very mixed reactions from SEOs. Mostly like, oh my God, Google is going to go ahead and reduce the clicks to my website. I'm going to get less traffic to my website and generate free content for Google. Google feed me type of gif. These are things that people are seeing. But at the same time, you guys need to test this to make sure, hey, is this markup going to send me more traffic or less? If I'm in position 9 and I add the markup and all of a sudden my ranking goes up or my result gets richer and people click on me more because of that, where I was getting no clicks before, that obviously matters. So you have to test this, see how it will benefit you versus not benefit you. Of course, if somebody else implements it and you don't, that also hurts you. So we'll see what happens, and definitely keep an eye on it. The Search Console tools will actually help you and see what's important. And hopefully you guys will see more clicks and not less clicks. Keep us posted. Google announced a beta Search Console report specifically for a speed report, which uses Crux data. The new report is in beta mode right now. You can sign up by clicking on, there's a link in this post that you can actually click on. And here's what it looks like over here. It shows you slow pages, the average pages, and the fast pages. So you can actually click on in detail and see what's going on. It lets you drill down into specific issues. And it gives you an overview of all your pages and your field metrics specifically and all the specific issues that you might have. It's not live yet, but you can definitely sign up for the beta. I have a link over here in the blog post to it. So definitely sign up for the beta and play with it yourself. Another note, I didn't write about this, but the Page Speed Insights tool was slightly updated in terms of the UI. I'm not sure if Google's going to announce anything like that, but the UI was slightly updated there, which I did not cover. Google Colab has been updated as well. Last year, they announced Structured Data Colab, which basically walks developers or webmasters through a step-by-step process to creating structured data. With that, they also announced Single Page App Colab and Dynamic Rendering Colab, which basically, again, takes you through step-by-step on how to create these types of markups and solutions for your own website. We've been talking about or covering how Google, like John Mueller and Gary was talking about how image search is the future and SEO should really focus on that. Not necessarily the future, but something that SEO should really focus on. And at I/O, they actually discussed different things that we're talking about updates to Google image search. They're going to support higher resolution images. It's going to be an opt-in program, and you can actually use your markup to specifically send Google URLs to find that a higher resolution image. That might be used in Google image search to show higher resolution images by filters. It might be used in Google Discover, Google AMP, and other things. People love high resolution images, but it's also hard to always serve that to Google because you want to optimize your images on your web page so they don't take so long. So maybe the markup, you can say, here's a super high res version of that image and send that to Google for them to use any way they want. Swipe up to navigate. We saw this back in March where you can actually swipe up. Here's like a screen, basically. Here's what it looks like. You like swipe up from an image and it shows you the AMP article to it. That's going to be supported. And 3D images, which they covered in the keynote, we can actually go ahead and see 3D images in search and then use AR, which I'll show you a little bit later, to embed that on your own website or to embed it in the actual in your office or wherever you want to look at it using AR on your phone. Google's top stories is being updated as well. So not just to list top stories across the internet for a specific topic, but there's launching something called full coverage, which shows you like a story timeline. You can learn more about a specific topic. You can even see podcasts and play those podcasts related to that story right in the actual browser, which is cool. So definitely be on the outlook for a updated Google top stories. It's not live yet. It's coming soon, according to Google. Google also added, like I said, 3D images to search. And with that, you can actually embed, or not embed, but like overlay those 3D models directly in your office, on your bed, or in your house, or wherever you might want to do it. So if you're buying a new pillows for your mattress, you can actually look at that on your mattress. So you click on the 3D, view in 3D. It shows you the 3D icon image. You can say view in your space, and then you can use your camera to overlay that into your space. It's pretty cool, and I show you the markup in the previous slide of how that actually will work in the future. Google is launching audio, or has launched audio podcasts that actually search audio content from the actual audio, not just the title and metadata, but the audio. And I don't know if this is live yet, but Google kind of announced that it's coming up soon. And last year they launched search results that show podcasts that you can actually play directly in your desktop or iOS or Android. It seems like they expanded that a little bit, but coming soon, hopefully, will be the ability to hear audio directly in search from the podcast itself. So if I'm talking to you right now, these words that I'm talking about, you'll be able to search using Google Audio Search, Audio Podcast Search. Something Google was testing earlier this week, very, very weird. If you do a search for some keyword and Google couldn't find relevant results, it would say, hey, the results for your search don't seem very relevant. Google confirmed this as a test that was kind of too widespread. Danny Sullivan said they're going to fix it and so forth. They're going to remove any ads related to it. It's just weird. I mean, instead of fixing the spelling of this restaurant, they're going to say, oh, we don't find relevant results. I find that to be a little bit weird, but it is what it is. John Mueller called SEO contests. We hear these SEO contests come up every few months or so. Wix is running another one. That he calls them let me just read what he says. SEO contests are pretty useless. SEO contests never reflect real life performance. They generate a ton of spam that negatively affects the whole ecosystem. They're a big waste of time and effort. The smart approach to SEO contests is to just ignore them. And then he goes on and on. So basically, don't do SEO contests according to Google. It's reporting the news. Don't shoot the messenger. Google's John Mueller said it would be potentially useful for you as an SEO to understand information retrieval, how Google or other search engines find information across the web. It's useful to understand because that helps you become a better SEO. Google My Business is buggy. Their reporting is buggy, just so you know, not just Google Ads, which still has an issue, not just AdSense, which seems to have fixed their issues. Also Google Play, also Google My Business, their insights reports. All these reporting elements are buggy in Google right now. With that, Google My Business is testing a new design and layout for the Google My Business console. It definitely is a bigger update where they can actually update the cover photo. Here's the new tabs. They're promoting products, so definitely take a look at that. And finally, Google. Remember the Google How? Google launched probably like 10 years ago, maybe almost 10 years ago. How search works. Now Google released a how news works on Google, and it goes through various things around how Google works, specifically for news search, and it even talks about authoritativeness. It talks about freshness, usability, all this type of stuff that you see in the quality rater guidelines and so forth, specifically for news. But in any event, thanks so much for listening to the Search Buzz Video Recap. Sorry about my cold again. More allergies than a cold. I hope everyone has a great weekend. And this is the search news we covered over at the Search Engine Roundtable at SERoundtable.com over the past week. Today again is May 10th. Everyone have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next. Bye.